with appropriations. So the stored energy is minimum, that is the delta WE equal to 0 there. That is what our basic things there. So finally, the Laplace equation and by the principle of be like this, but you can incorporate non-linearity also for different type of element there. So from that one, what we found out like this, there the potential, if we have that, we have got 3 points defined, so V1, V2 and V3, and in terms of V1, V2 and V3, the unknowns we can find out A, B and C, and from there we can express that Vxy is equal to I is equal to 1 comma 3 into Vi alpha I x of y. So there is some alpha function and we have given some alpha function like this. Say suppose alpha 1, we have already mentioned alpha 1 is equal to x2 y3 minus x3 y2 plus of y3 y2 minus y3 into x plus of x3 minus x2 into y divided by 2a, where a is the area of the triangle. A is the area of the triangle. So basically, just by replacing, doing some algebraic manipulations, I can come to this form of, bring to this form of potential at any point of x and y is a function of x and y, and this can be expressed and by this one, and alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3 can be expressed in terms of the coordinates of the vertices. So definitely what we can say that therefore nabla V, which is a gradient of this potential there. So what we can say is equal to, because potentials at V1, V2 and V3, they are fixed. If they are fixed, then definitely what we can say, this is equal to I is equal to 1 comma 3, that is Vi into nabla alpha I xy. That means we take the derivative of alpha a there of xy, alpha of xy there. Okay. So we know the energy stored. Up to this we can have it when we have it comes out automatically. Now the energy stored, mind it, there might be some epsilon 0 term, we have taken it out because that is not our concern. Our concern is how to minimize this integral function there. Okay. So the energy, so we are assuming obviously that the permittivity of this medium remains a constant here. And this one I have shown it for 2D geometry. If it is a 3D geometry, there would be more complicated because it would be x, y, z for a there, and that complications will be more. So we are doing it, simplifying it for the 2D geometry only. So energy stored in a single element. So this is your single element here. And in 2D space. So basically this is, I am considering only 2D space there. Then what we can say it is WE, that is WE small e indicates the energy stored in these small element there. That is equal to half of expression. So naturally because it is a 2D element, so this integration will be a surface integral, basically over the surface there, and that will be is equal to mod of nabla V whole square into ds there. Okay. Is it okay? And or we can say, because you know nabla V whole square is nothing but nabla V dot nabla V. So it is basically the scalar product.
Sir, could you please read out the alpha one once? It's not very clear.
Louder, please.
The value of alpha 1. So it's x2 y3
I
minus
had
x3
given it in
y2.
the last class already. If you had taken it in, or you can
Sir, I
find
was unable to come to the last class because of network issues in
alpha
Delhi
was
NCR.
equal to x2 x3 minus x3 x2 plus of
Is that x or y?
huh?
It's y, right? x2 y3.
First one is x2 x3 x3 y2, x and y mixed. Huh?
Okay.
Just because using symmetry you can here also basically it comes from the inversion of a matrix. So x2 x3 minus x3 y2 plus of y2 minus y3 into x plus of x3 minus x2 into y divided by 2a. Okay. Is it okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Huh?
Thank you.
So what we can say, this is equal to half of surface integral. What we can write is that so it is nabla V into nabla V or like this there. So naturally two things are multiplied, which includes two summations there, two multiplications there. So what we can write it down, rather I would be putting the integral sign afterwards, rather I would be first taking this summation sides here. So it is I is equal to 1 to 3, and then summation j is equal to 1 to 3, then it is Vi. Then I put it in this way, surface integral nabla alpha I into nabla alpha j into ds, then again Vj. Can I write it? Because this is basically the scalar product of two things there, and then definitely it would be two independent. So we will have to go for the summations, because there is one summation, but there would be two summations there, and it would be like this. Please check it, whether you put it, you can put it or like this. Okay? Okay. Now, the major problem is that we will have to go for this calculate WE and how to give this one a better shape, and the second thing is that how to find out the derivative of the WE so that we can put it to 0 and solve it like this there. That is our major issue. Now, little bit of shift. I mean, we shift it to some other topic, because it is always easier to bring analogy into the other area. Because we wanted to do the things there, simplification of this one. If we recall, Lyapunov function, I think you are familiar with this Lyapunov functions in control systems in your undergraduate and the postgraduate. If you are in control, you have gone through some control courses and like this. This Lyapunov function is a very important one for the stability of finding out the stability of the control behavior. And in fact, Lyapunov is a Russian scientist, and his approach for stability was completely different from others' approach there. In 1992, he got his PhD. 1892, he got his PhD, and that was on the stability of stellar objects. The stars and moons and etc. They move around there in a particular orbit or particular trajectory. They don't go out in spite of the different attraction, forces of attractions and etc. For the reasons of this one, he suggested that he developed a mathematical tool by defining an Lyapunov function which can be considered as an energy function there, and we say that the Lyapunov functions derivative and etc. The Lyapunov functions derivative should be negative so that it becomes stable and all the things there. So those are not very important, but if we recall, the Lyapunov function is given as half of x transpose p into x. I think all of you are familiar. This is the x is a vector, p is a matrix, and x again is a vector, and this is like this. I would do a little bit of simplification for this. Small x is equal to x1, x2, and p is equal to, that means a 2D system. P11, P12, P21, P22. So what is there? In that case, V is equal to half of x1, x2 into P11, sorry, small p11, small p12, small p21, small p22 into x1, x2. So I can write it down is equal to half of x1, x2, then it is p11 x1 plus p12 x2 plus here it is p21 x1 plus p22 x2. Okay. So from this one, I can write it down that what is there? I can write down is equal to V is equal to half of what is there? It is P1 x1 square, P11 x1 square plus of P11, sorry, P12 x1 x2 plus of, here it is P21 x1 x2 plus of P22 x2 square. Okay? This is the expression there. So if I say that is del V del, basically what we can say is that, okay, in a short you write it dV dx, that is its derivative, is nothing but del V del x1 by del V del x2. Okay. So if it is del V del x1 and del V del x2 like this there, so what will be the value here? P11 x1 and then it is plus P12 x2 plus P21 x2. And here del V del x2 is equal to P12 x1, P12, here it should be P11 x1, P12, yeah, x1 plus P21 x1 plus 2, sorry, what I am doing it. This
Sir,
is half.
actually there is a half.
So naturally, okay, I put it in this way, half I just take out. So it is 2p11 x1 plus p12 x2 plus p21 x2, and here it is p12 x1 plus p21 x1 plus p22 into x2. Here it would be 2 term there. Okay. So can I write it in this way that this is equal to, just check it, P11, P12, P21, P22, just a minute, what I am doing is that here it is P11, what I am doing is that okay, we'll do it in a different way. I just put it in this way. Suppose P into X is equal to P11, P12, P11, P12, P21, P22, X1, X2, then it is P11 X1 plus P12 X2, and here it is P21 X1 plus P22 X2 here. Okay. Okay. So there is no harm to choose that P12 is equal to P21. We choose P12 is equal to P21. That means P is a symmetric matrix. We know that P is symmetric. So in that case, what will happen? This will be is equal to P11x1 plus of P12 x2, and here also P12 x1 plus P22 x2. So we get the same thing. So what we can say is that this, if V is equal to half of X transpose P of X, mind it, this is a scalar quantity, dV dx is equal to P into X, where P is a symmetric matrix. Okay. Now, taking these things there, Q over here, what we can write is that that is equal to 1 by half of capital lambda transpose S E into capital lambda, where lambda, capital lambda, is nothing but the potential V1, V2 and V3 there. And SE is a sensitivity matrix. Because it is also the same thing what we have seen, that is there, that half P transpose Px, we can write it in this way. This is the energy function. But this S, rather, sorry, not alpha, I call it SE element. So this is the sensitivity matrix. It includes all the A there, all the alpha I, alpha G, J, and there, all the things there, and their derivatives, integrals, and so many things there. But this is a decent one, and this we can easily go for it. And also, you remember, we will remember these things afterwards, that dV dx equal to Px if in the same way. So if we want to minimize the energy function, so it is the energy function. If we want to minimize the energy function, we will have to use this expression, that is dWe d lambda should be is equal to 0. But here it is, obviously there would be not 2-dimension one, but a 3-dimension one there. Is it clear up to this? What I wanted to say is that nabla V, that can be expressed in a quadratic form, which is nothing but a scalar function, and basically if we take the derivative of these things there, it will come in this way. If we are satisfied, so what we do is that total energy storage total energy stored in all the elements. So we thought it that okay, it is one single element there. And there are so many other elements also. So go on like this, there another one, this is one, this is two, and there were many other elements also. So is W, what I call it overall, is equal to sigma of for all elements W of E there. And so for minimum energy principle, so basically del W overall by del V, basically for all the, if there are overall k number of elements there, that should be equal to 0. That we will have to do it. Okay. So we will like to do the things there, and this is the way we are approaching towards the minimum energy principle. We try to express the overall a single element energy storage functions by assuming a triangle, two-dimensional obviously in this case, and we have seen that this can be expressed and simplified in a single element there. And we divide the whole space into a number of similar type of triangular elements and club them all. If we club them all, we get overall of this one for all E, and I say that the potentials at all the vertices of the triangular element, or even inside there at any point of this one triangular element, it will make it such that the derivative of this one, they should be 0 because of the minimum energy principle there. Is it clear? Then we will go for the next step.
Sir, a small doubt. What is VK here?
Huh?
What is VK?
Vk is the potential. Say suppose I just tell it like this there. 1, 2, 3. Then it is 4, 5, 6. I have said suppose there are A there. The whole element, basically what we are doing is that suppose this is our zone of interest there. So what we do is that for the finite difference method, what we did, we had made some sort of small grids there. That is when we had made it in terms of small rectangles or like this there. But in the case of the finite element method, I will make in this way. There are many ways we can make it, but I say that all of them represent some triangle there. Okay. So basically, all of them are triangle, better to be, in fact, not in midpoint, we can make it like this. So it can go for all the things here. So this is k is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In this way, we just club all the potentials there. And definitely for the whole region, the minimum energy is there. So I mean the del W overall, del Vk. Vk represents the, I have k is equal to 1 to very large quantities, because all the represents all the vertices of the triangular elements there. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now I will be doing that way. So
Sir?
for all the yes, any
Excuse
other
me, sir.
question?
Sir, here then we have to decompose any arbitrary area into triangle. No other shape will do.
Pardon?
What I mean to say is that we have to decompose any arbitrary area into number of triangles only. No
Yeah.
other shape will do.
Basically, as I told, if we assume that the linear relationship in 2D form, it will have to be a plus bx plus cy. For that one, we had used a triangle. But
Okay.
if we use some other approximations, that is a there, that could be lead to some other quadrilateral or many other. If it is 3 dimension, then it would be pyramid and many other ways also.
Okay.
Okay. Depends upon what is the geometry or like this, but the simplest one is always a triangle for a 2D geometry. Okay. Now what we do is that W overall is equal to this one. But what we can say, connecting disjoint elements. What we mean that one, say suppose I have considered 1, 2, 3 as a triangle, which is disjoint to the second triangle 4, 5, 6. But here ultimately they are all connected. So naturally the number of nodes can be reduced if we consider the connectivity here. That means basically you can say they are connected, these two elements. So potential at point 2 and potential at point 4, they are the same. Similarly, potential at point 1 and potential at point 6, or rather this one, these things will be the same there. So what we can say is that these things is a disconnected, and if it is connected, we can get some sort of, so this is your 1 dashed. Okay, I put it in this way. 1 is here, 1 dashed, and here it is, I call it 2 dashed, I call it 3 dashed, here it is 4 dashed. So basically the 6 nodes comes down to 4 nodes, so naturally that will reduce our computational burden. So this is your connected. So what we have is that I can say that these expressions I can say that it is equal to V1, V2, V3, V4, V5, V6. I can relate it to this point there, that is V1 dashed, V2 dashed, V3 dashed, V4 dashed here. That means right hand side is the connected one and the left hand side is the disconnected one. So what we can say is equal to, so V1 is the same as V1 dashed, and simultaneously V4 is also the same as V1 dashed. Okay, because, no, sorry, V6 is same as V1 dashed. So V1, this point and V1, they are mapped into the same point, V1 dashed. Similarly, I can write it down that V2 is same as V2 dash definitely, but the 4 point is also is the element there. So this is your V4 dash. What is it? V2 is equal to V2 dash. That is the 4 point. That is 1, 2, 3. That is basically 1, 2, 3, and then 4 here. V2 is this one, and this one is to V4. That's right. So you can say V4 is equal to V1 dashed, and again, sorry, V2 dashed, and V2 is equal to V2 dashed, and again V4 is equal to V2 dashed. Similarly, V3 is uniquely defined, and we cannot have any other thing. It is V3 dashed. And again, what is your V4? We have told it. And V5, what is V5? V5 is a unique one. That is basically V4 dashed. And V6 is that like this here. So all of them are basically zeros here. So look at it. V1 is equal to V1 dashed. And again, V2 is equal to V2 dashed. V3 is equal to, in our language, it is V3 dash. Sorry, this is dashed here. And V4 is again, we have found V4 is equal to V4 is equal to V2 dashed. And again V5, what is there? It is independent. It is nothing but it is V4 dashed. And V6 again is equal to V1 dashed. So this is the thing by which we can say that lambda disconnected is equal to some matrix which is, say, we call it seed connection matrix. C into nabla connected. So C is a connectivity matrix. And obviously, that is actually what is the connectivity matrix? This, in this case, it is so this, in this case, it is actually 4 by 6 by 4 area. Okay. So this is, there is a connectivity area. So what we can say that we have mentioned that it is sigma of all elements. Okay, that energy in all elements. So suppose I call it, this is a triangle 1, triangle 2, triangle 3, triangle 4, like this. Okay, this is not there. That is triangle. So we can have a separate triangle there. And if we connect consider each of them individually, what will happen that S disconnected is basically they do not have any condition A there. Each one will have a each one will have a S matrix which is independent of the, so again we go back to the disconnected. Each one will have an S matrix, that is this one and that so on, S1, S2, S3, S4, all like this there. And obviously this S1 we know that is equal to, we say it S111, S121, S131, and then why, this is S matrix, we know it's a symmetric matrix we have considered. So it is S121, then it is S221, S211, S311, S321, and S331. So this is, we have a first matrix and we know that each element represents that alpha I, that is nebula alpha I j, and these things and their integral and all that. Well, let us not go into the detail what is there in this way, but definitely we will require this connection matrix, and these things are important. We will try to see that one. So each disconnected element is like this, put in this way, and of course another thing is also there. This lambda disconnected is connected to a lambda, related to the lambda connected by C matrix, that we call it a connectivity matrix there. So what we can say that W overall, that means we are taking all of them, this is basically W overall. This is actually half of lambda transpose disconnected, then S disconnected, and then lambda disconnected. Okay, that means all of them, that means in this case if it is two only, then it is 6 there, and this will be, everything is that two triangles we independently consider. But if there are many, naturally it would be a very large number of triangles, maybe hundreds to hundreds. Okay, very large dimensional problem it will come, but definitely our computer is capable enough to handle those things. But these are all referred to the disconnected, and we have seen that the lambda disconnected is related to lambda connected. So lambda connected basically, I don't want to repeat again these things there because we know they are all really connected there. So we can say it is equal to half of lambda connected, I just put it lambda con transpose into C transpose, C is the connectivity matrix, into S disconnected, then it is, okay, then it is C connected, C matrix, and then it is lambda connected. Am I clear? Can I write it? So I am using this expression and replace these things here. So lambda disconnected is equal to C into lambda connected. So finally, It doesn't matter much for us there, but I can say the dimension can be greatly reduced if I define that is their S dashed, or these two together, three together, I call them S connected, and then lambda connected. So lambda overall is equal to, that is the thing, lambda connected is connected, and then lambda connected. Now we will go back to our just another 2 minutes we'll go, or 2-3 minutes we'll go, then we'll come back like this. So we can say W overall is equal to this one. So what we say is that the delta W overall by delta lambda connected, because this is our area. What is the value here? What will be the value del W overall by lambda del W overall by del, yeah?
S connected into lambda connected.
Fine. Basically, that's S connected into lambda connected. This has to be equal to 0, because this overall minimum energy principle we are applying. So that means this has to be minimum. Just you see one nice thing, possibly you will really appreciate how a complex integral equations and etc., double integral, all the things there has been brought down to a nice and simple matrix equation which is easy to solve, that is S connected lambda connected should be equal to 0. That is our, which we gave it a minimum principle or energy principle, all these things there, which had a, all the integral, derivative, grad, nabla, all these operators there. Obviously, they are inside, but this lambda connected means the potential of each of the elements there, vertices of the element, and S connected is a potential, is a function which represents all the energy functions and all the shape function also, we call it like this. So lastly, we'll go for this one. Again, at some of the nodes, mind it, what are the nodes? Basically, this is 1 node, 2 node, 3 node, 4 node, and in this way, these are the nodes, and lambda, we also say that, okay, these are the potentials at this point. But we know that, but the question comes, okay, these are all fine, but that is minimum energy principle, or like this there. But where is the Laplace equation? Where is the Laplace equation? Where is the boundary conditions there? So what we can do is that we have obviously, we have seen that this has to be 0, and we have to put some boundary conditions also. So what we say of these nodes, the potentials provided are provided. And at some nodes, it is free. I can give an example. Say, suppose a just I will take it in this way. So we can say the nodes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So this one, for this simple case it is, we have whole region which is a rectangular, we have kept it as 16, divided it into 16 zones there. And in this case, suppose the potential is given, say it is V is equal to 10 volt, and this one say it is V is equal to 0 volt. That means these two, between these two we have put a potential there, but in this case this is insulated. This is also insulated. And maybe what we can say, there are many points where it is free. So we say that number 1, 2, 3, 4, 13, 14, 15, 16. These 8 points, it is free, and your turn is to find out what are the potentials, and these two are insulated, what are the potentials at the rest 8 points there. So basically this S connected or the lambda connected vector, I can divide it into 2 parts, that is a lambda connected is equal to lambda F, and this is, sorry, lambda, I call it, okay, lambda F and lambda P, that is the potential which are free and the potentials at the nodes which are prescribed. So I can go also into this form, that is lambda connect, and basically ultimately we can further break it into 2 parts, and each one is that lambda free and lambda lambda prescribed, I can say prescribed here, and we can break it in this way. So we will further do a little bit of algebraic manipulations and like this there, and that will help us to finding out the solution of the finite element, the solution of Laplace equation using finite element method. So I think I cannot go further, time is up. So next day we will conclude this part and we will work out one example, and then we'll stop the finite element method and do that one. Any question up to this? Quick questions? You can see the Hyde's book, it is given nicely, finite element method. Ida's book is also nicely given there. Any question? Yes? Pritam Rao, are you present?
Yes, sir.
Huh? Pritam Rao?
Yes, sir.
So why you are absent on all the Wednesdays? Please call me at some time. We need to discuss about your other things there. Okay? Anyway, that's not the idea. So up to this we have discussed, and we'll further go further for the finite for the solution, how to solve using the finite element technique. So let us conclude, call it a day, and some problems have been given there. I think 1 or 2 have been towards finite element, so maybe you can solve it afterwards. Next Monday I will be completing that part. But other finite difference problems, I think these are simple, but only for practicing those things I am giving you. Okay? Thank you very much.